sport. And I saw an article this week. I just thought it would be a good talking point for us, given it's a bit of a departure from, well, not a bit of a departure, a bit of a return to our old channel, the Bearded Philosophy channel. And Zlatan Ibrahimovic hits out at LeBron James for getting involved in politics. Now, I think that's a bit of a dramatic headline. I don't think he's hit out. I think he's just got a point of view that, and he even says, I like him. I like James a lot. He's phenomenal, but I don't like when people with status speak about politics. Do what you're good at doing. If I play football because I'm the best playing football, I'm no politician. If I'd been a politician, I would be doing politics. This is the first mistake famous people do when they become famous. For me, it's better to avoid certain topics and do what you're doing. I also actually have here LeBron responding to that. So I thought I'd play that, and we can have a chat about this.
Yeah, I'd like to see this.
You know, I would never shut up about things that's wrong. I preach about my people, and I preach about equality, social injustice, racism, systematic voting, voter suppression, things that go on in our community. Because I was a part of my community at one point and seeing the things that was going on, and I know what's going on still, because I have a group of 300 plus kids at my school that's going through the same thing, and they need a voice. And I'm their voice. I'm their voice, and I use my platform to continue to shed light on everything that may be going on, not only in my community but around the this country and around the world. So if there's no reason, well, no, I won't say no reason, but there's no way I will ever just stick to sports, because I understand how how this platform and how powerful my voice is. And he can just ask Renee Montgomery, if I would have shut up and just dribbled. Seeing that beautiful Black woman today, be a part of a group where she's part of an ownership group now with the Atlanta Dream down in Atlanta. And it's funny he say that, because I believe in 2018, he was the same guy who said when he was back in Sweden, talking about the same things, because his last name wasn't a certain last name, that he felt like it was some racism going on when he was out on the pitch. Right? He did say that, right? Yeah, I thought he said that. So I speak from a very educated mind. I'm kind of the wrong guy to actually go at, because I do my homework.
Time will come when I say
so. That is
hold
on. Hold on. I've got some technical issues. What's going on? I don't even know where that's coming from. Where is that? Oh, you know what that is? That's the John Jones.
Him fighting me.
I can't find it.
Yeah.
There it is.
You got it?
I got
Shut
it.
that down, Shola. Shut that down.
So we need a production team. That's what we need.
We do.
Yeah. And we need a budget for a production team. I think we should start there.
And some good Wi-Fi from this end.
Gotta say, your Wi-Fi has been impressive today.
Mate, don't curse it. Let's just keep rolling quickly before it goes.
So I found this to be an interesting conversation. Just the idea that whether professional athletes should or should not. Zlatan is somebody, we've spoken about this before. He's grown on me, because I thought he was an absolute prick because of his arrogance. And his arrogance has so much style to it, and he's such an A-type personality that just delivers everything he says. No matter what, you have to respect that about him. LeBron is an equally impressive individual, and from my experience growing up in the United States, he went straight out of high school, so he skipped, I guess, what here in the UK would be A levels. It's relative to A levels, maybe. He didn't go to university. But he's not really lived in any sort of professional existence. And I think in university, you get some level of that to a degree. So he's really gone from high school to professional sports, and he's been sort of mollycoddled as one of the next comings. And what impresses me about LeBron is he is an intelligent guy. I don't think anybody would argue that. And LeBron has had to sort of, teach himself, he's had to grow up himself. He's had to mature himself in an environment that I would think is really difficult for adult human beings to become intelligent, mature individuals. What's your take on that sort of back and forth?
Yeah, it was really interesting, actually, because you know what? There's I really like both angles of it, just straight up. So let's just talk about Ibrahimovic. I love the fact that I actually think that I like Ibrahimovic's point. I think he went for the wrong person. So
yeah,
there are a lot of people out there, and you could put us amongst it. Well, we're not big and famous, but people that are expressing their opinion that they're ill-informed, right? And they're maybe doing it for less kind of moral reasons or ethical reasons that they might be putting out. It's a self-promotional thing, and they're trying to get their face out there, or just trying to say what people think that they should be hearing. And yeah, just shut up. I'm not interested in hearing that. But if someone is like LeBron is right there, that has background as something that's truly important to them, of course you shouldn't suppress that. And he's got every right to share his, opinion on what he's working towards. He's informed. He wants to share that with the world. But I kind of like Ibrahimovic's, look, people just stick to what you're good at. They stop pretending to get involved with all this kind of complicated stuff when you don't really fully understand it. But maybe he should have targeted someone else. So that's my honest thought.
It might. I didn't realize there was listening to LeBron, and I'll be honest, I haven't researched the Zlatan angle as to whether he did speak out politically in Sweden.
My other half Swedish, so that was something that came through. He did. He's not Swedish, but he's not born in Sweden, I should say. So because of his angle and because of the way he is, like you said, you thought he was a real arrogant guy. Well, my mother-in-law hates him. Because of the way he is. And there are a lot of Swedish that he's Marmite. He's not a very stereotypical Swedish person either. He's not born in Sweden. He's not got a Swedish name. But people love him for what he can do on the pitch, but they don't like his attitude. So he has suffered some negative press because of the way he puts himself about.
I think this is we're not going to get into the debate as to whether it is or isn't, but to me, this is very much, it highlights some of that debate on white privilege. And where LeBron feels he's in a position that he has to do something because of, in his view, systematic racism. He's now in a position of power to help bring his community up. And I don't know that Zlatan, and this is where, people that maybe don't understand racism or don't understand white privilege. And again, I'm not getting into the conversation whether white privilege is a thing or not. But I think there is an argument to be made that Zlatan, he went after the wrong person because he doesn't really understand why LeBron is doing what he's doing, whether he agrees with it or not. And to the point that, famous people making political statements, there's people that I don't want to hear making those statements, but I also don't want people to be censored. And if you have a platform, you have every right to use it for whatever you think is best. And in most cases, when people are creating a platform for themselves, it's with good intention. They want to make positive change. Fine. I have no problem with that. I have more respect, though, for people that make change quietly. So whenever you see, if I was famous and I had money and I did something for, let's say, I don't know, foster children, I wouldn't bring a camera crew with me to do the work that I'm doing. Now, I understand that famous people have camera crews that come whether they like it or not. But I find it quite cringy when people do things that are good with their platform and they do it as a bit of a self-promotion tool. And that's where I think Zlatan would have been focused on. Just shut up and act and do your thing. Let's not get involved in an area that we don't want to hear your opinion about. And I think that's how we all feel with some people.
Yeah. Did you watch the Golden Globe? I think we're in total agreement, mate.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Golden Globes with Ricky Gervais?
No, I don't watch any of that.
I don't watch any of it either.
No.
But if you put in YouTube like Ricky Gervais,
yes,
he absolutely rinses people, and like he said, look, and he's half joking, which is why it's funny. But just no one cares what you think. This is just a stupid little medal. Like it's only you that really cares about it. Just come up. Say your thank yous and move on. We don't want to hear about your politicians because you're all as bad as each other, kind of like, and rinsing them really for that. And I think a lot of people stand there and it's very cringeable and they feel almost pressurized to say something. And I'm not sure the level that they're qualified or educated to talk about it. So I kind of like what Zlatan's saying to a degree, like he's calling out those people. But going back to that point, I think LeBron is someone that, has some substance behind him. So maybe angled at the wrong person. But I think we're in full agreement there, Sean.
Yeah, and that we'll have to go back to that Ricky Gervais thing at some point. I agree with you. I think the one thing that I always struggled with that bit was Ricky Gervais was making a point about not sharing your views whilst he was sharing his views publicly with unadulterated freedom. So it's I do like Ricky Gervais though, and I think there's times where Ricky Gervais is a bit Marmite to me, but I think he's a genius as a comedian goes, as a writer goes. So I liked how he made those Hollywood elites quite uncomfortable, and I like the Hollywood elites that can smile and laugh and not take it too personally.
Yeah,
I think that's
comedy.
That's what it is at the end of the day.